Okay, so let's start off with my bare brows. And right now I have nothing on. I don't have moisturizer or foundation on. I do have mascara and eyeliner on just because my eyes look better that way. But this is my everyday brow, and then we'll step it up to more defined, more dramatic, and then a waterproof brow. So I'm going to start out with my MAC eyebrow pencil in Spiked. And this is my everyday color. See, it's a darker brown. It's a dark brown. Stud is a darker brown when compared. I don't know if you can see the difference. This is Stud and this is Spiked. So we're gonna start with Spiked. And click, click. Do not click too far up because you can't go back down. You're stuck with it and it will break. But so I start out with light strokes, very light strokes, and I start in the middle at the bottom just because I know I need to fill in right here where my arch is, because the hairs don't, well, I over tweezed and the hairs are sparse right there. So very light short strokes. See how I'm doing that? Very light short strokes. And I don't go all the way in with the pencil, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I do light strokes, define beneath the brow and above the brow. And then the arch, I make sure the arch is defined, and I don't do short strokes here. I want it more controlled, so I press against my skin to get a sharper line. Then for the tail, I do the same thing. I do a straight line. Well, I do strokes to fill it in right here. And then I do, and because my skin is dry, the pencil goes on in firm strokes rather than getting all mushy and oily and rubbing around. So I can easily wipe it off too. So for the tail, I just bring it down in longer strokes. And I come up lightly at the end so it fades nicely. Okay, so once I have the desired shape, which I have now, I'm going to go in with my Paula Dorf eye definer pencil brush, and it's just a flat, stiff brush. It's thin, it's very thin too, and I use this for more control. And I don't use my spoolie. I'll show you how I use this instead of a spoolie. So I use the brush, and it's clean. It looks a little like it has product on it, but it really doesn't. The product I get from the actual pencil that I already applied. So I brush lightly in for the start of my brow to give it a very natural fade rather than using the pencil and getting a harsh line there. So I do a natural fade right here. And then here where you see here my arch, I fade that out a little bit too so it doesn't look too harsh. And that's my basic everyday brow. Now we're gonna step it up a bit, and I'm going to use my MAC Showstopper eyeshadow, and it's just a blackened brown. It's a really dark brown, and I use my brush and just dab the tip of it in the product just to get a little bit, and then I use that to fill in the base of my brow. I don't use the pencil there because again I'll get the sharp line. So I use the brow powder. You can use brow powder or an eyeshadow in your shade to get this effect. And I just do short strokes with the brush to get it through the hairs, to blend the hairs in. And if you see, it's nice and defined right now. I finished this off with my brow gel, and you can get this in. You can get a brow gel anywhere. You can get clear mascara. It's same difference. You can even use a wax, but I don't use a wax because it moves the product around when I apply it, and I don't apply it with a brush. I apply it with my fingers. So I have different brow gels. I have a CoverGirl clear mascara. It's just a professional mascara. It's just clear. It looks a little dusty, but it's not. I have the Anastasia brow gel that I got in a set. They're different ones. I have one from Wet n Wild, but it looks kind of funky. But to finish off, just use the brow gel, sweep lightly through it to hold the hairs in place. And finish the other brow, and you're done. That's it.